But let's talk about why Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC. So I'm personally coming from the ERP background ever since I rolled out of my college, right? I was an engineer and then I became a management consultant, and the only work I did, in my career is ERP consulting. So ever since I came out of my college, this is what I've been doing. I happened to start to work with SAP, and then I moved into other solutions like Sage. Um, Things were going well, and then I had to force myself getting into Microsoft because Microsoft was doing really well. So, personally, as a career, for me to be in the market, I had to get into Microsoft because Microsoft was doing really well. So the very first answer to the question, why Microsoft, right? Because it's Microsoft. Um, we have a great track record of delivering reliable and robust software, for the last many decades now already. And Microsoft becomes a trusted solution for many people to just go in and then take the solution just out of the box and use it and not worry about any malfunctioning or any notifications, to the business because of a software, because we trust in the word Microsoft, in the company Microsoft. And a lot more people are using, and there's no business, that I've seen that runs without, using Excel sheets, Word documents. A lot more people are now getting into cloud solutions like, OneDrive and SharePoint, which are all Microsoft solutions. It's an ecosystem that Microsoft has built, for any business to run seamlessly. So the name itself, I think, is a great. I think it gives a great trust to people. And me working as a solution architect, I can clearly still see a lot of differences what the other solutions out there are not providing, right? Compared to the other competitors that I've worked with. And I continue to stay in this for more than a decade right now with Microsoft solutions, starting with Nav. And so Nav is the predecessor of the 365 Business Central. And then when the cloud solution came out, and they named this as Business Central. So I've been in the Nav space for more than a decade now, and now all into Business Central implementation. So I think I can personally vouch for this, that this is a great solution. And talking about the cloud solution, this is by far the cloud solution that I've seen, because you have heard of Azure. It's known for consistency on performance and security from a cloud solution perspective, and it comes as a package, with compliances, to any country, to any industry. The cloud solution that Microsoft offers, which is Azure, is the largest cloud infrastructure so far, right? And so naturally, I think Business Central has a great win because of that connection to the greatest cloud infrastructure that we have. So this just then becomes the cloud solution for now, right? And then we also want to talk about specifically about the Business Central. This application, it's a role-based application, meaning you have you have a business that have a lot of roles or a lot of teams, right? So there's a CEO, there's a CFO, and then you have a senior accountant, you have a purchasing manager, a manufacturing manager. So there are different roles in your business. And this application makes it very easy for a business like that, because the interface is actually a role-based interface. So for example, me being an accountant, I can switch my role to be an accountant, and what I see on my system is all about the accounting pieces, right? I can see transactions being posted, I can see reporting of the other cost entries that's being posted from other modules. So it's all catered to the role of an accountant. And if I wear my hat to be a purchasing manager, I can simply switch my role in the systems interface, and in a flash of a system refresh, I can see the entire system changes the dashboard to give me all required information of what a purchasing manager would need, like looking at the open POs, looking at the POs that are in progress that have been released, that are, that's coming in receipt today, what's planned for tomorrow, and stuff like that. So your KPI and the entire dashboard view of the system changes by simply switching the role. So in other words, we can say, it actually becomes a custom solution for each of your role in your organization. And it's not it's not a solution that gives the same look and feel for everybody, which actually becomes overwhelming, if we had to go that direction. But Microsoft, I think, made a very clear move that it's a role-based application, which is really great, that I can say compared to the other systems. Some other points that I also want to talk about is it's a turnkey solution. Yes, because this has been in the market for more than more than a decade, more than a couple of decades, I would say. Even talking about also now, so it comes as a package with turnkey solutions already built in, so you don't have to customize or configure your system, for doing some basic stuff like creating a purchase order or an invoice, or posting a payment. You don't have to spend a lot of time to configure your system, because it's coming pre-built with that configuration. All that you have to do is like turn on some flags based on your company's requirement, which is where people like us come in picture. We talk about the best practices, what is in the market, what is people following out there as best practices, and help you to ensure that the right flags are turned on and the right way of entries are being posted in the system. But we don't have a lot of work that I have to do as a configuration. I think our work comes in as to train you as how the system is going to help you, right? So it actually cuts down a lot of work from a consultant and a configuration standpoint as well. So that then becomes a turnkey solution, right? So you don't have to spend the time and the money to prep your system to meet your requirements. So that brings down the implementation time a lot. And in a couple of months, you're up and running with a system like this, which is offering great solutions. Talking about compliance, it also comes with a package of compliances on various aspects. If you have to talk about financial, yes, the Business Central offers financial compliances, including the GAAP, IFRS. There's a way you can switch between these compliances depending on your requirement. You can do reporting based on these compliances on a financial perspective. So when we talk about taxation, you might be running a business in the US and also in Canada, probably also maybe in a small part in the Europe. Your one solution actually lets you to handle those compliances that are provided in different regions, because it comes out of the box. For example, a business running from the US and they have to run it in a part of India, they can turn on the VAT and the GST taxation, with a click of a button, because it's already coming in the package with no configuration required. Okay. Other points on compliance is, we can talk about data privacy. There are the data privacy compliances out there, which has been incorporated by Microsoft, with very careful implementation. Again, those are things that you do not see as a user, but it is built in the background. So when it comes to audit, you're fully secured and covered using a system like this. We can talk about also document and record management. So when you're sending documents and receiving documents, the system ensures that it is moving with the most secured platform, and ensures that the data is not misused through some hacking or any other malpractices, because the system is very well procured. Again, it's housed in the Microsoft's cloud infrastructure, which is very, very well secured. Also, that comes with the compliances as well.